President Trump unleashing an immigration enforcement machine, carrying out his promise to secure our southern border and the northern one. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is visiting active duty military in El Paso, Texas, who are working alongside now Border Patrol agents. They've been there. The numbers are getting bigger per Trump. We have new images of the United States Marines arriving at Guantanamo Bay, where violent illegal immigrants will be detained. Also this, the Trump administration has been working round the clock to round up and deport criminal illegals on flights out of our country. Trump's crackdown has also sparked protesting across the country. In Dallas, people taking to the streets waving Mexican flags. In Los Angeles, police in riot gear forming a human barricade to shut down a protest that was blocking the busy 101 freeway. And in another surprising video, protesters burned the American flag. Well, whose side are they on?
Wow. Well, the U.S. is one of the only countries where burning the flag is not a crime. You try doing that in Mexico, they will arrest you. But what I'm curious is, are these illegal immigrants or are these people who are just protesting on the immigrants' behalf? Because if you can want to go and wave the Mexican flag, you can take your ass down there with them. Now, if you're an illegal immigrant, you got a lot of pride to be waving the Mexican flag in America while burning the American flag, but not too prideful to be sent back to the country. Like, I never understood that. I definitely went through this in high school where I went to school with a bunch of Caribbean people, and there was like this fake culture war where you got the Jamaicans that hate the Guyanese, the Trinidadians think they're better than the Haitians, and I'm like, all y'all are here though. Your country is so good, but you don't live there anymore. You're here using up our tax dollars, learning from our school system, and doing nothing for your country at home except probably your parents are sending money back there. Never understood it, but let's continue. And it's only black people I see that do that.
I almost hesitate to put those images up because I know it causes more people just to try to get attention by burning flags. But there you have it.
So you decide at 9 o'clock in the morning, a social media post went out that said protest, and the police let 101 freeway with everything the trauma that everything that Los Angeles has been through, traffic anyway, on a Sunday. Now they let them shut down an unpermitted protest until 6 o'clock at night. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
and then to understand the Mexican flag and El Salvador flag is not going to sell your story. Your story is, I feel like an American, I've been here. Instead, you're saying, I feel like a Mexican and I deserve to take over here. One of the signs said, America's on stolen land anyway. That's not going to win over today's America. That might have been fantastic in 2020. We're not buying it now. So between that and what's happening with Rubio pushing to shut down the Darien Gap, the Venezuela taking back their people, what is happening on so many different ways, there is a massive crackdown in America on illegal immigration.
Can we just talk for a second about the Darien Gap? That's going to save a lot of lives of women and children in particular. That is some of the most harshest ground to traverse on the planet. And they're
Colombia
bringing
should play a role too.
little ones coming through. So to hear that Secretary Rubio is concentrating on that is a miracle, really.
There's so many balls in the air, Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And the left, for as much as they care about the humanitarian aspect of immigration, tons of people came through the Darien Gap and lost their lives, to your exact point. That image that we see in Los Angeles, LAPD was ready to engage and arrest folks if necessary. They weren't able to do that. And Bill Malugin says he spoke to the rank and file, and they said, this is the same old crap. We're chasing these guys down around all day for absolutely nothing. And this is what we're seeing. I mean, this is resisting Trump. There you're seeing it in LA. You go over to Chicago, and apparently there are these groups where when they see ICE come in these black SUVs, they mobilize. And ICE was actually not able to make an arrest in Chicago on that day because the community mobilized. But who are you mobilizing to support? The guy in Boston who had a second-degree murder charge? The guy in San Antonio who was found with a murder weapon from an unsolved murder last November, who was, by the way, released by Biden into the interior? Who exactly are you protecting? How about the guy in Buffalo, who is someone who was accused of all kinds of sexual trafficking and was found with an innocent young woman who he is believed to be trafficking at that moment? This is who we're going after. So work with us to protect the innocent and act humanitarianly by stopping some of the things that we're seeing.
The worst go first.
So we got American people who are out here vouching for illegal immigrants who pretty much skipped the line from everyone else who had to wait decades, close to a decade to get here, spend tens of thousands of dollars, came here the right way, and the American people are just going on the side of the illegal immigrants when they have no idea who they are. They have no idea what they're bringing with them. And a lot of these women who are illegal immigrants are pregnant, and they're just dropping them babies and then having them here, which is why Trump wanted to get rid of the birthright citizenship. Because it's crazy to me how you can have someone who's illegal drop a baby in this country, and all of a sudden that baby is legal? That crap don't make no damn sense. And what don't make sense to me even more is American people taking us out of these illegal immigrants. Well, if you want to do that, you have them live with you. You feed and house them. It needs to be the same people that are talking about, oh, we should have open borders. Yet I bet you they don't leave their doors on their houses unlocked at night. Hypocritical.
First, like, who would defend against that, Marie?
Well, the Trump team has been telling us that the worst go first. And I've said on this network.
Well, there's a lot of transparency. I mean, we see.
I've
so
said
much
on
of
this
what's
network
happening.
many times, I support convicted criminals being deported.
I support
We saw from some of those
every
early
immigrant
flights
being
to
deported.
Colombia that it included pregnant women, it included children,
Did they come over illegally?
it included, but they had not been convicted of crimes.
No. The first crime is when you break our
No,
laws.
but Harris, the
sovereignty,
Trump
coming
team
into the
said it will be
country.
the hardened criminals, the people Kayleigh mentioned, convicted of violent crimes.
And if
that's-
they are with other illegals who cross
me
the
finish.
border,
Are we okay deporting pregnant women
Yes.
who have not committed a crime except for coming
Yes.
here? If we are, then we should say that. The Trump team should say that. Second, freedom of expression and protest is still legal in this country. We may not like it.
Yeah.
We may, and to Brian's point, I think you make a good point about who are they trying to convince here, right? Who are they trying to convince? I think some of the most effective arguments I've seen made are, for example, people in the restaurant industry, people in the home healthcare industry, industries that rely on immigrants, both legal, undocumented people going through the system, and are willing to work with law enforcement to say, look, our entire parts of this entire city we are sitting in would shut down if every person who came here illegally was deported. So how do we do this in a way that, to Kayleigh's point, protects people from criminals, doesn't shut down major parts of the economy, including the agriculture sector? That's the challenge right now.
Emily.
Number one, protesting on a freeway is always illegal. That's
Yeah,
not
very
protected
illegal.
protest, especially non-permitted protest. But secondly, I hear what you're saying, but I feel like we always talk about this, but I think it's a fallacious argument always. It's sort of like saying, if I can't afford to pay my taxes, you know, what am I going to do? Like, I have to do it this way because I can't afford it otherwise. There will be short-term pain as we readjust things. But the notion that the first foundational argument is, well, we rely on illegal immigration in these particular industries doesn't fly, because the American industry is still suffering then if it's not honest labor. And there's a lot of unemployed Americans that then, or legal immigrants that then could be selected for such. I'm not going to like bless an argument where the premise relies on the backs of illegal immigrants. And I think to your point, you know, we've seen communities rally in the past around protecting themselves from horrific people like Larry Singleton and Richard Ramirez, you know, the Night Stalker, right? And to see the communities rally around so misguidedly these recidivist criminals is horrifying to me, because it means that the message has landed in a way that is so toxic and perverted. And when you see them burning the American flag, well, if it sucks here, you don't have to stay. But the reality is, not only is that anti-American, it's pro-cartel. So everyone waving the Mexican flags and everyone shutting down the LA freeway, you are telling me you align yourselves with the cartels above anything else.
So this mayor decides you can't get to your home in Pacific Palisades, it's too dangerous, but make sure the cops don't get the illegal immigrants out of the streets
right.
to block the 101
Makes
freeway.
sense.
And
They are
breaking-
begging you to leave Los Angeles. You should do that.
Breaking our initial law, whether you are, whatever your health or medical situation is, as you were pointing out, Marie, is breaking our laws to get into the country. And I know during the lead up to the election, people on your side of the aisle did not agree with Republicans on the fact that the first law broken is when you don't legally belong in this country. So I get it. We'll have a different discussion about pregnant women with birthright citizenship. Trump is open for that discussion.
I wholeheartedly agree. A lot of y'all fail to realize that the first law broken is them coming here illegally. Because like I said, there's people lined up waiting to get here legally, having to pay tens of thousands of dollars. And these people are just skipping the line. No one knows anything about them. You have all these criminals coming in here, doing all these horrific events, and people losing their lives, and children being attacked by these people. Man, if y'all don't get over yourselves and stop thinking that these illegals deserve to be here just because they're human, you try that in another country and they'll send you back. You can't even be American and sneak into Mexico. They'll send you back. But it's okay for Mexicans to sneak into the United States? Y'all are twisted. Y'all are crazy. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see y'all next time.